Hello and welcome. It is the 8th day of June 2019. My name is Derek and welcome to the Money Charts channel. All bets, trades of the like, that is within each's own risk and their own reward. I don't know why I'm trading this coin. It's I just sold some as I got a horizontal array at 8,243, so a sell order got activated. I've already bought in Litecoin with it. And I've already moved my Litecoin over to my hardware wallet as well, and it's there. But that means I don't have any more Veritcoin on the exchange because I sold everything I had, and well, that's normal. And I got to put another 20% or so of what I own, and I've done that. And well, it takes 600 confirmations on Poloniex as well as on Bittrex as well. And that's the reason why I'm like, why am I even trading this? With that being said, on the 1 minute term time frame, when markets go up, they're ready to go. They go 8 o'clock, and I happen to check at like 8:05 just to say, okay, how anything happening to start the day, and I see like 30% up. I'm like, whoa, yeah, significant move to say the least. And well, obviously we could see that before this was taking place, that things were happening, and usually after things uh, stop happening or different things happen after that, then something different will take place. And this was much different. Of course, I'm just saying yada yada. There's no way of knowing this beforehand. Is another way of me trying to put that out there. As far as this on the weekly, it's just coming up to the 18 average of highs. And I suppose if it gets up really high enough, I'll just keep trading it, playing around. I just won't be able to sell anymore for about 24 hours because it's 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time. This is just the first 20 minutes into the trading days with all of these like minus halves and plus halves. We're going to see +1 for SPY. Oh, that's old data. As is silver. Mona coin, 0.5% is nothing. DGB's getting its ass kicked. And Bitcoin, let's talk about Bitcoin dominance because it is just not volatile. It's not moving too much. Basically, what do we got here? Either a small period or a large one. If these things are small, that means altcoins really aren't moving too much. As what you'd be getting is if it's a big green up day on this. That means Bitcoin is overperforming the alts and by a significant portion when, of course, it's a significant size. And that would mean Bitcoin's up like 12%, 15%, and the altcoins aren't doing much. Or Bitcoin's up like 30, 40, 50%, and altcoins might average be up 12 or 15% against the dollar. It could even mean that the altcoins are getting going down big 10, 15, 20, 25% when Bitcoin's down a much smaller fraction. That's when you're going to get a big green size up. But when that happens, that means there's going to be volatility in the crypto markets. And for people like myself who like to trade on the volatile numbers, well, that would usually bring that into play. And then, of course, on the downside, that would represent altcoins having big gains like 10, 20, 30%, which would be a lot higher than that of Bitcoin, or the very rare situation where Bitcoin loses bad and the alts don't, meaning Bitcoin's down like 15% and everything else is down too. As far as Bitcoin's concerned, 79.50, that's just a hanging in there price. Stayed today's session within the 18 average. Still, don't know if it's resistance, don't know if we're holding and staying above the lows. Of course, it's at the 18 average of lows now at areas seen, well, first this year on May the 13th. So it's getting close to a full month since that point. But markets, of course, have a big move and correct it through time and or price is part of normal market behavior. Litecoin having a good breakout today as it broke out against BTC. I guess it's just continuing its move more than anything, but another green candle up. But when looking at the 1 hour term time frame, this is the move that occurred as it spent a plethora of time in the 18 average since it entered there at 3 p.m. Eastern time yesterday, and it left it at 4 p.m. East, so a full calendar day, 24 hours, maybe another, maybe half a baker's dozen more, or a baker's dozen and a baker's and a dozen plus a baker's dozen hours, 25 hours, or a quarter of 100. Either way, market goes up, two candles up to this high, and it's just been going sideways, holding on to its move. And like always, whenever you have a break above the 18, this is most certainly resumption of trend. When you have within this up move, we have the correctionary phase. After such, we have a leg higher, and that's what we're doing is correcting this move and breaking out from it. And that means at this level of previous resistance, that's what I'd be looking to see to be that of an area of support. After coming up to this previous area, it's just congesting amongst it now, but most certainly can go at any time now. It's almost uh, sparked the interest for the probability odds anywhere within this band of having a 6, 7, 8%, 9% move a lot lower in here as it is now because of this particular move in which it has had as far as what Litecoin looks like against the US fiat debt note. 118 US dollars, same sort of deal, spending all of this time within this correctionary phase, piercing above, piercing below, more piercing below, but this is not a pierce above. It's breaking out, holding and staying above it, congesting for about 4 hours or so, 3 hours going sideways amongst this. And I mean, this looks terrible when you see this volatility. If I put this in another one, you just get to see, and I like this one just because it's got market data for like several years. I should be checking out what the shorts and longs means if there's any, if this can give me any indication. I'll take a look at this after looking at this. But within the 1 minute time frame, we can see how 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes market going up, and it's just been correcting sideways through that of time, and just a hefty good 2 minute period or 15 minute period here going from almost 120 down to 117. And the buyers, of course, in control of this market. So, yeah, what does the shorts and longs mean on this? It's on Bitfinex. So, we'll look at the shorts. Is this the amount of contracts that are owned? 82,000? Obviously, let's see if I can find any coordinates within the market here. Well, the market's topped or bottom like November, December, like November, December. March 23rd. Well, that's when cryptos really started to break out. Was April 1st, and then this bottomed here. Like yeah, where Bitcoin topped on May 14th. So is this a counter move? Is this like? I guess this goes down when Litecoin goes up most times than not. If we take a look at this on the longs, because I again have no idea what this even means. If this was tradable, I mean, this to me has got this can't be a market you trade. I suppose it could in the volatility sense. I don't think. I don't know. I don't know what this is. I'll probably read the comments and find out, as there's a lot of smart people that'll probably give me a few hints upon the situation. Theta's having an interesting day today. Uh, Here we have it. And the pattern, well, obviously volatility with the market. Point A low, point B high. Bunch of sideways movement for a long time. November 30th, it goes way up, way back down. And then from the middle of January to the middle of March, 2 months, spectacular move, and then giving it all back. And of course, now since has found this bottom at about 1100 and has been making a pattern of higher highs. And it's been in a somewhat of an uptrend, I guess you could say, but I like the setup that it's showing in here. For we come up to this level of resistance, awesome correction. This little bit of movement in here. I like to see it have held here. It kind of did, the higher low, but nonetheless, it did hold it. Retest of that level again. And from this, it did hold this area and then all of this. And what I like about this overall, well, what I've been in the more recent term, is we had the 2 days of just holding this few days before of resistance. We had the breakout on today's session of Saturday. That I'd like to see it hold about 17 low change now. But live, I think, for a potential breakout when a lot of these cryptos are ready to go. They'll just have a setup, something like this, and then when it's ready to pop, oh my goodness, which makes it so that if you are in the spot here buying, and I mean it's a live situation, risk reward. You have high mathematics, even though it was the top here. When you're buying near the top in here at like 1870, you got the possibility of seeing 3200 in like 6 hours, or you have the possibility of seeing it 4 times higher in 12 days. Those are the types of situations you get because you're showing the possible breakout, but we've had a lot of this resistance, and in the break of such, it could be pretty fun. And for my portfolio, it kind of would. Bitcoin 92.49 now. It just keeps on going. Let me just check to see how many confirmations I got. I need 600. And it's currently at 4. Okay, almost a percent of the way there. Why does it need so many of them? You know what? This could work out good. This could work out bad. I mean, works out good if, say, this goes to, like, say, 13,000 tonight. Even in the morning, for that matter. But sometime tomorrow night when it gets there, it's at, like, 20 or 30,000. That's when it works out good. But the risk factor to have this thing go all the way up to, like, 14,000, 16,000 tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, and then by the time my deposit comes in, if it's back to like 8,000 or something like that, that would suck. But you know what? The market does what it does. And again, that's what I'm saying to myself, why am I even playing markets like this? I realize that the volatility is magnificent. And I want to get as many pairings in as possible. And I know Vericoin has done stuff like this over and over and over and over again. That's just what all. You know what? A lot of the markets do that. Because you see this move in here, you had this move in here, you had this little fast move in here. Ultimately, they usually always end up failing, but the ones that fail succeed. At least this failed, but it succeeded because it made this higher high. And this one failed and succeeded again. Because even though it went intraday or intra short, very short amount of time, from a 157 handle down to under 100, it managed to get back up to 177. And that line was just me trying to move the mouse over. This one failing a little bit. All of these little short-term intraday moves of low volatility failed back in September of last year. This one, even though you can see a nice green one, it gave it back the next day. This one here, not really, because, but these ones here, with all the moving it back. But, I mean, if you have like 200 confirm, this is where I talk about spots where you can be a little lucky sometimes. And I don't know, maybe unlucky. Maybe it's maybe you sell at around 40,000 here. And then you go to send some where you'd sell again at say 55, but then it actually goes up to 76, and maybe that extra time would allocate you to sell it at that point. I don't know. Just different ways of looking at. I'm trying to find a prime example for something. I mean, right in here, of course, this one in here. If it took like every day it was just a bit higher, then that could have easily meant that, okay, it's up to like 13,000. I want to sell some, and it takes a full day, and it's at like 18, 19, 20 when you normally would have sold again at 16. Things of that nature. Maybe again here you're trying to withdraw or withdraw, put some in at 8,200, looking to sell at say like 10 or 12, and yet it goes up to like 19. Okay, that'll about do it for this video because I'm very, very good at making them well, well over that of, I mean, 9,600. This is just getting crazy. Was there anything on Bittrex to show that this was happening beforehand? What was this was in at 20 hours even. Both of it happened at the same time. Okay, take care. Have yourself a good day. Bye bye.